Aloha, folks, and welcome to this edition of the KHVH Hawaii Reporter podcast that will be heard on these websites and other locales. It's a delight to welcome former Governor Ben Cayetano with us for our 5 questions today. And, Governor, thanks again for being with us. Good morning.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, Governor, you know, the 2011 legislative session just came to an end. I'd like to get your reaction to what transpired over this session.
Well, you know, they have some difficult choices to make. It looks like taxes are going to increase for quite a few people. You know, contractors are going to lose their tax exemptions, and I think they passed the tax on people with higher incomes. Mm-hmm. I didn't see any really wholesale or meaningful civil service reform for for the future, and maybe that'll come in the next session.
Speaking of that, was there anything within the negotiations with the HGEA and the revelations of the contract? Was there anything that surprised you, or what was your insight on that?
Well, I thought that Governor Lingle had made a good decision when when the health premiums increased, and she kept the state's contribution at 50%. I think it was a mistake to go from 50 to 60, especially in a time like this. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen much in terms of real meaningful structural reform when it comes to the labor unions.
Talking with former Governor Ben Cayetano on this edition of 5 Questions. And, Governor, the city is aggressively moving forward with a rail project. What's your take on the city's performance thus far, and what's in the future?
Well, the city has been rushing this project, and when you rush a project like this, you make mistakes, and there are quite a few mistakes that we think are going to set the project back. Now, outside of the legal action that's going to happen, the money and the financial statement that the city just completed still, in my opinion, does not meet the requirements set by the Federal Transit Authority, mm-hmm. and namely that there be an independent study, to verify the city's financial statement. Governor Lingle did an independent study, but apparently Mayor Carlisle, thought it was political, and he's rejected it. So I still haven't seen anything that indicates the city is going to be able to really move forward. Right now, they have the okay to go and relocate the utilities. Mm-hmm. But after having talked to some people at the Board of Water Supply, for example, I wonder where the city is getting their cost estimates for that kind of work, because people that I've talked to at the Board of Water Supply tell me that the city rail people have been coming up with the numbers on their own without much consultation with the Board of Water Supply. So that's going to be interesting. And I think that the recent revised financial statement that they just submitted to the City Council is really shows that they're in trouble, because the FTA told the city that they wanted to see a financial statement that did not require using $300 million in bus money. Well, they cut the bus money in the new revised financial statement, something like about $270. They're still relying on bus money, and they haven't also taken into account in the projections the downturn after the Japan tsunami in the projections for the general excise tax. So, they're going through all kind of motions. They're trying to make commitments to spend money and all that. I just don't think it's going to work. I think that the project is in real trouble.
Governor Ben Cayetano is our guest for this edition of 5 Questions. And, Governor, question number 3 pertains to energy prices. The city and county of Honolulu is actually proposing an increase in the county gas tax over the next several years. it's top of mind with every motorist. Governor, what's your take about gas prices specifically, but energy cost as a whole?
Well, clearly, energy costs are going to go up. Gas prices. I was on the mainland 2 weeks ago, and gas prices on the mainland are high as well. It's surprising to see regular gasoline in a state like Illinois being sold at about $4 a gallon.
Mm-hmm.
We probably have the highest gas prices in the nation here in this state, and I think that what's going to happen, and I think what people need to take into account is that as the market changes, you're going to find people switching to different kind of cars. I came across a study that indicated that 60% of the people who are buying cars now are buying hybrids and crossovers, that give you more gas mileage.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as, getting off oil and all of that, one of the disadvantages that we have in the state is that we're probably the only state that really relies 100% on oil. And, when you talk about alternative energy and all of that, well, we have to look at that. But the reality is that it's very expensive. And that's what's been a problem for alternate energy development, is that the cost is high. And so, the market goes where the costs are less, and that continues to be oil.
Is it conceivable that in a time like this, especially with the volatility, that any government at this point should be looking at an increase in the gas price tax? It just seems a little incongruous with what's going on.
Well, all we've seen are tax increases, and I have to say that I don't know what the situation is with the city and the reasons why they're increasing the gas tax. Maybe it's to fix all those potholes that we see, that remain, unfixed. I'm not sure, so I can't comment on that.
Mm-hmm. Talking with former Governor Ben Cayetano, enjoying our conversation with 5 questions. And question number 4 today for us is that the race to replace Senator Akaka, who announced his intent to retire after this term, is underway with Ed Case's announcement to run. Governor, what's your take on, first of all, the service of Senator Akaka, and secondly, what do you see taking place as 2012 approaches?
Well, for the Democrats, our best candidate against the Republican opposition was Senator Akaka, given the people who are trying to move up and replace him. Mm-hmm. Having said that, however, I don't see anybody new coming up on the horizon. Ed Case has indicated he's going to run. Mufi Hanneman has also indicated to many people that he's going to run as well. But I've heard that Senator Inouye wants Colleen Hanabusa to run. And if she does, I think she might be the favorite on the Democratic side anyway.
And how about Governor Cayetano? Would your name appear on the ballot, sir?
No, I'm going to be 72 this year. You really need a younger person to represent us in the U.S. Senate.
Well,
yeah.
Well, I think both of us are getting to the point where we'll pretty much shoot a round of golf to match our age soon. So that's...
I'll tell you what, Rick, if I can shoot in the 70s, I'll be so happy.
In regard to the Senator Akaka's seat, do you have any thoughts about a GOP candidate? For instance, whether it's former Governor Lingle or any other GOP member that might arise?
Well, I think first of all, I think the most formidable would be former Governor Lingle. Charles DeJoux certainly still continues to be promising, in my opinion. I don't see any other GOP candidate, maybe with the possible exception of Duke Iona, although I don't think he can win against a Democrat, on the Republican side. And it probably will be Governor Lingle. She has a lot of support on the mainland, especially. She can raise money. She's a very good communicator.
We are enjoying our 5 questions with former Governor Ben Cayetano, and our 5th question today, Governor, is we now have installed a newly appointed Board of Education with Don Horner as chairman. What's your reaction to this new board, and What do you foresee for education in our state because of this change?
Well, I think that there's some promising signs. First, they retained the superintendent, Kathy Matayoshi. Kathy Matayoshi was my director. She was part of my cabinet and held the directorship of the Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs. She did a really good job. She managed to, when she left, she managed to put that department really as a self-paying entity. She's an excellent administrator. Don Horner, I think he's a very good appointment and would be a strong leader. I don't know about the rest of the people, but a guy like Horner would want to make some changes. And I think that they're not having to worry about elections. And then, they're committing to, taking a more policy-setting approach rather than hear every little group that has a complaint about the educational system, which really bogged down the elected board. They held like almost 90 meetings a year, which is a lot. I think these guys are going to the new board is going to basically set policy and let the administration carry out that policy. And that's the way I think, it should be. I also think that with Horner on, they'll probably negotiate a contract with the teachers and the principals, which demands more of them. We have our school year. Our school day actually is too short. Our school year is about the same like other states, 180 days almost. But our kids go to school maybe 5 hours a day. You go to the mainland. For example, in 1997, we compared the schools of Iowa, students in Iowa school districts to ours, and we found that in some districts, the kids in Iowa went to school the equivalent of 20 more school days than our kids. And, those kind of things really count. Yet, when you look at the school year, it's about 180, 170, somewhere around there, almost the same. The key is in the hours per day. And, I noticed that the unions have been complaining about having to work more, and all that. Well, I tell you, one thing about lawyers, I'm a lawyer, they're professionals. We don't work according to the blue-collar standard where you work 8 hours and you punch out. You do a lot of work, off hours. And the teachers have prep time. I taught a class at Farrington after I got out of office. And, teaching is hard, but some of that prep time could be changed to class time. Because I think it's more important for the kids to have to spend more time in school than the teachers having to do all their preparation within a certain time. The teachers can't have a blue collar contract. I told the union that, and this is what you guys want, a blue collar contract where the hours are set and all of that. You're professionals. You need to understand that professionals don't work by an 8-hour standard.
That's very true. I do remember the days, and I appreciate your insight on this very much because there's a lot of promise that's being expressed with the appointed versus elected, and I think it's really going to take some time to find out how that plays through.
Right.
But I appreciate it greatly. Former Governor Ben Cayetano with 5 questions today, and we hope, Governor, we can do this again. And the earnest hope is that, you putt them straight, but you don't putt them often.
I try, put it that way.
Amen to that. Governor, thanks so very much, and I hope we can do it again soon. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rick. Bye.